Today we're going to be checking out my pedal board here and how I use it, so let's get into it. So before I do some playing examples, I thought I'd just give you a little rundown of what we got here. I have a mono board, and then I have a stereo board. This mono board can easily be taken off of this little tray table and put in a case for touring. I like to use this bottom board for touring because it's compact. It fits in my suitcase. Even if I can backline Nords and sequential instruments at the venue, I can't really backline pedals. So this is what I've kind of settled on for my touring rig. I love this stereo board. So in the studio, I have them side by side and they work together, which is awesome. So this mono board can be fed any keyboard in my studio, and this stereo board up here can be fed any keyboard in the studio, and then of course any keyboard can be tracked direct into Pro Tools or Ableton, whatever we're using. Also, via my universal audio interfaces, I can send any signal that's coming into this mono board into the stereo board. So you get them working together, which is awesome. And that'll be another video of how to set that up with console and universal audio. It's important to note that the signal flow is right to left. So everything's feeding from here to here to here to here to here, and then the same up here. So if you were to use them together, the signal would go like this, and then here, and then out. There's a lot of people on the internet who are doing amazing things with pedal boards. This is definitely not the most advanced pedal board setup. This is what works for me. You can really go all out with customizing a board and creating the perfect cables, and it's an endless, wonderful rabbit hole. But this is what I've decided is necessary for me over the past few years, and this works really great. As you can see, I've got all the Strymon trifecta, as they call it, for the stereo board. We've got the Mobius, which is all types of modulation effects. Then we got delay, which does delay and more, and then the Big Sky reverb, which does incredible reverbs. And then on this bottom board, we've got a delay, tape delay, we've got a Mercury 7 reverb, a red Panda Tensor, it's like a tape machine on steroids. And then we've got the Ottobit, which is a bit crusher, sample rate reducer, does stuttering, it's really cool. And then I've got a CopperSound Morse code kill switch down here with a polarity to make it on or off. So this is a good time to talk about mono versus stereo. There's two reasons why having a mono board is fine. And that is, number one, when I'm on tour, most of the time I don't need stereo because the mains are being mixed in mono. So it really is not a big deal. You know, and I'm not gonna get a lot out of my stereo reverbs or delays or choruses. Some acts that I've toured with, like with Marcus Miller, we do end up having stereo mains and stereo monitors. And that's been cool to be able to use these stereo pedals on the road and actually have two different monitors so I can hear the stereo effect. But for other tours that are smaller, you know, it's pretty much exclusively mono. The second reason why a mono board is fine is because if you start getting into these more glitchy kind of lo-fi effect pedals, it's already lo-fi. So if you're going for lo-fi, it doesn't really necessarily need to be stereo. However, this is the main pedal that for me is like my glitchy pedal, and before it only came in mono, and they just sent me a new one. It's in stereo. I haven't put it on here because I actually wanted to show you in this video how it's okay to have a mono board. So this could end up eventually turning into a completely stereo rig, but for today's pedal board tour, we're just gonna keep it as I've been using it. So yeah, that's the kind of overview of what these boards are, and now let's get into some of these sounds. There's just way too much here to show you every single nook and cranny of what these incredible pedals are able to do. So we'll just go through briefly each one, just a couple of favorite presets. And we'll start up here. The Mobius has unbelievable amounts of modulation effects. When I'm in the studio and I have like the Prophet 10, Prophet 5 over here, the audio signal is mono. So if I have a patch like this, sounds cool, but the chorus on here, I made this preset called Fat Chorus. And then, so I've got like just a basic Rhodes patch here. Well, I have my actual Rhodes here. And it's very dry and clean, which is nice. But I love the vibe on Mobius. and it can sound sort of like this. There's tons of other stuff. This is kind of simulates what this one does down here. I have tremolo on my Rhodes, but if you didn't, it's like a square wave panning tremolo vibe. Here's like a more relaxed. Really nice sounding. Here's the analog one that's on the Rhodes. Okay, it's hard to argue with that. By the way, this is the Retro Flyer preamp from Avion Studios. Let's just check out some of these delays. Nice analog delay. That's the name of that preset. It's stereo, which is nice. Here's like a longer, more aggressive bucket style. So yeah, the delays on here, you're just gonna get these beautiful, really complex timbre from something like the Strymon timeline. I love stuff like the swell delay. Really beautiful stuff. I also love the modulated, pitch modulated delays like you can even do like reverse stuff. And then, of course, where would we be without the Strymon Big Sky? For stereo, studio, clean stuff, I love these because not only do they sound great, but I love getting my hands on the pedals and just pressing the on button or changing, you know, a setting or doing stuff like. And then even with this reverb, this is an awesome preset. Okay, so I've just changed over the two boards into the mono board, and we'll check out some of the things I like here. So this is this great tape delay. So yeah, for tape delay, this thing sounds awesome. Love having these knobs right here so I can, use both fingers to. And I love the cathedral settings on here. So we've got different types of pitch modulation for this reverb. That's adding an octave below. Now for fun, let's send this whole situation here into the stereo board. So for scoring TV and film, if you like to improvise when you compose while you're watching the show, this can be some really great sonic painting stuff that can help you be really in the moment. Okay, so we're gonna check out this Tensor Red Panda now. This is one of my favorite pedals of all time. It can do stuff like this. Simple blip. If you've listened to any of my music, you've probably heard this on almost every track. I love the reverse abilities of it. And then after this, we have the Ottobit. We can introduce some sample rate reduction and bit reducing. Sample rate reduction. Love this stuff. Yeah, and this has a filter on it, which is awesome. So you can almost treat your kind of like your rig as if you were a DJ, and then use this at the end of the chain. Oh yeah, and this one, of course. So it's just a kill switch. A lot of fun. So there you go. That's just a little bit of what's going on here on the pedal board. Yeah, as I said, these pedals, there's just way too much here to go over in a brief pedal board tour. Each one of these pedals deserves their own video. So yeah. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. So shout out to Strymon, shout out to Meris, shout out to Red Panda, and shout out to CopperSound. Any questions or comments? Hit me below. I'll have links in the description for all the various pedals, and catch you next time.